I'm going to use my fingers because that's how I was taught to eat. Am I happy? I want rice. What can I say? Please try at home. It's really, really good. Hi everybody, my name is Damian D'silva and I'm the chef owner at Rempah, Singapore. Today I'm going to cook for you one of my favorite dishes, a chicken curry that we created when we started Rempah. You know, it's a soul food. It's a food that you can eat at any time of the day. You know, you're hungover, you can have it in the morning, you can have it with prata, you can have it with bread. We took all the different elements of different heritages and we put it together to come up with this curry. So you look at Malay and Peranakan, usually when they do the curries, there's lemongrass, there's also galangal. The Chinese perhaps will not want a curry that is too thick, whereas the Indians would want the chicken curry to be thicker. They want it to have more spices in it. The Eurasian chicken curry uses a lot of spices. And this is a curry that I've been growing up eating for a very long time. But a lot of people don't realize we don't only have one type of curry. Because what is a curry? So to me, as long as it has a powder in it, a curry powder, right? That is a curry. If you look at my curry powder, you can tell that the color is very different from any other curry powder outside because we toast our curry powder. I've tried different types of curry powder. It doesn't have the same aroma that I like. And in terms of flavor, it's not as intense as what we have here. So I grew up in a mixed heritage home, and Granddad was the one that I actually learned most of my cooking. It started off more than anything else as me helping Granddad in the kitchen. So it was just cutting, peeling onions, peeling potatoes. Was I happy? No, because my friends were playing, I had to work. Okay, now we're going to start our prep. First, potatoes. I realized that Granddad was getting really old. And then I told myself, what if he dies? My mother cannot cook what he does because she's not the same ethnicity, right? If I didn't learn from this man, everything goes down the drain with him. So I went to him and I said, Pop, can you teach me? And he said, no. Why do you want to cook? That's the last thing you want to do. And I basically said to him straightforwardly, if you die, who's going to cook all this for me? And we're going to cut the lemongrass. Make sure you remove the hard ends, but you cut it at a very fine julienne. I'm not the kind of chef that weighs everything. I think cooking by feel is something every home cook should get used to. You're cooking from your senses, but when you do it on your own, it comes from here. It tells you. Of course, I'm not going to say, wow, I love my ginger, let's use 1 kilo of ginger. No, it's all about a balance of everything. And I think that's how I would like people to cook. So this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to use my senses, okay? Always make sure that you blend ingredients that have got a lot of liquid in it first. You're going to blend all the Bombay onions and the shallots. Don't put water or oil in your blender. So if you look at the history of Singapore, 500 years ago, the people that were in Singapore were basically your sea gypsies, your orang laut. They were the first inhabitants of Singapore. And they've been around for a very long time. Their food is what the true Singapore Malay food is. But you know, sotong masak hitam, you don't get it in Indonesia. It's a very Singaporean Malay dish. Before I cut chicken, I'm going to cook the rempah first. The oil is an important element in making sure that you fry your rempah properly. This is going to take about 6 to 8 minutes of frying. What we're going to do is that we're going to take this and we're going to do it in wing, and then we're going to separate the thigh, the breast. I usually cut it in two. Now you got your center bone here. That's where all the sweetness and flavor of the chicken is. You can throw it later on if you want to, but we're going to cut this into 3. Okay, so the 2 ways of actually making sure that your rempah is done. Of course, the best way is to taste it. A lot of people sometimes say that, oh, you wait until the oil, comes up. I like to look at it. The sugars are going to come out, and that's going to darken your rempah. Now, for me, that's the best way of actually identifying that your rempah is ready. What I want to do now is that I want to add water to my curry powder. So you want to make sure that it has almost a paste form before you actually put it into your rempah. If you don't have your heritage, what are you? If you say, I'm Hokkien, but I don't speak Hokkien, and I don't know anything about Hokkien cuisine, where's the heritage in you? Where's the heart of who you are? That is your soul. That's where you came from, right? And these are the things that you need to preserve. You need to preserve the food, right? Okay, I'm going to add the bones first. They take longer to cook, and you want to also release the flavor of the bones into the chicken. Coat the chicken before you add the coconut milk. So you want enough coconut milk to cover the chicken. Let it simmer. We're about done. What we're doing now is that we're using a medium-low flame. The memories that you have as a child, your grandmother or your mother cooking dishes, right? If you don't keep it 100 years down the road, that's it. You lose everything. You lose. And if you lose that, then you lose your soul. And if you lose your soul, then who are you? I think when your friends come to your home and then there's a whole spread, before you eat, try and take the time to say, this is my grandmother's dish. So tell the story, right? And it's easy because all you need to do is go and speak to your grandmother. And what happens here is that a conversation starts. When you feel that a dish is cooked with love, right? You want to know something about it. That's how you keep your heritage and your traditions alive, by spreading the word. So you can tell that the curry is already done. It's been about 40 minutes, 35 to 40 minutes on a low flame. And how do you know? You can see that the oil has risen to the surface, yeah? And of course, the chicken's cooked, the potatoes are done. So there you go, Damian's chicken curry. The proof is in the eating, right? I'm going to use my fingers because that's how I was taught to eat. The meat near the bone is the tenderest and the most flavorful. It's sweet and it's naturally sweet. Am I happy? I want rice. What can I say? Please try at home, it's really, really good. This chicken curry represents all the different ethnicities that you have in Singapore. Take the time and try cooking with your heart. It might not come out the same as you want, but that doesn't matter. I think what's important is that you try it. And as you continue to cook it at different times, you will find that it will improve. With food, all your differences should be left outside of the table. It should be with heart that you come together and you share, irrespective of your race, language, and religion.